Welcome to Watercolor Lessons with Kathy. I'm Kathy Nichols, and I'm a lifelong artist, painter, and teacher. I help students of all ages tap into their creativity with watercolor. Watercolor is a great way to express yourself, and it's easy to get started and fun to do. I hope you join me to learn how to paint with watercolor. I can't wait to see your paintings. Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are painting a monarch butterfly. Today we'll be using 4 techniques, 2 brushes, and 5 paints. In this lesson we'll be using 2 compositions, and you can choose. One will be a relief, will relieve the background white, and the other one will be with a background with colors. Feel free to use today's lesson as a model. Set up here all ready to go. So let's go. Take your water spray bottle and spray your pans. Put some water in your palette. Today we are painting a monarch butterfly. Now for the wings I'm using a template. So here, place your template. You can make one from your imagination or from a photograph. Then take your liner brush, load it with cadmium yellow, put some on your palette, then trace around your template. Then flip it over. And trace over the template, like so. And I left a space in between the wings for the body. And lift it up. Then wet your brush, and we will do a light wash over the wings here. Now there's some white on the tip of the wings, and when you are doing your wash and the surface is wet, you can lift some of the yellow out. So that's what I'm going to do here. And along the bottom wing. Now you go to the other side and do the same thing. Need a little, load my brush with some more yellow. Taking a paper towel and dab on the tip of the wings where there'll be some white, and do that also on the bottom of the wing. Okay, so now load your brush with cadmium red. And we'll start with the upper wing. And there's a basic shape of the orange, so I will fill that in. And goes up along here and then comes this way and indents a little bit on the side. And I see my paint is spreading a little more than I want to. And if that's the case, you can take your paper towel and dry it a little bit. Now let's go to the lower wing. Dab it here a little bit. And load your brush. And we'll make a shape here. And don't go all the way to the end of the wing with the orange. You want to leave a space. Like so. Okay. Now let's switch to the other side. Load your brush as needed. Making the same shape over here. Now go to the lower wing here and leave a spot here. Don't go all the way to the edge. Now when I look at the Monarch, sometimes there's yellow highlights, and so I'm loading my brush with some of the cadmium yellow and just putting a tint of it in the wing here. And the paint is wet, so I'll spread a little bit, and that's okay. I'm doing that on all four of the wings. Now stop and you will want to dry it. So, drying time. Now, the butterfly has white spots here, some yellow spots, and a little bit of orange. So we'll start with the yellow and put a few spots up on the tip here. Go to the other side, and it's just on the top upper wings. So there's a couple spots. Now to do the orange or cadmium red, put about 3 spots there. Like so. Ran a little bit, so I'm going to dry my brush and soak up some of that paint. Like so. And it ran a little bit here. Soak some of that up with my brush. Like so. Okay. Now we'll be doing the dark area, and to do that we use the intense blue and burnt umber. And you will want to have it thick, not so much water. So let's start at the upper wing here. Now, on this upper wing, this is where it has the white spots. So you want to leave some of the white. That's looking a little blue to me, so I'm going to add a little umber to the mixture. Now, on this orange part here, where we'll make veins, butterflies have veins. So in this space, I'll be dividing it. So make one big space here, and then divide this area into 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. Need a little water on my brush. Like so. Now let's turn our attention to the lower wing. And divide this shape. And here's one big shape. And then it divides off into smaller spaces, like so. Now the paint is running a little bit thin, so it's time to add more mixture. And a little darker. Now on this tip of the wing, there's also some white. Little shapes. And I like to draw kind of a wiggly line there, and then divide it. Just randomly make those white spaces. Like so. Now, switch to the other side. We'll be doing the same thing. So, in the orange part, there's just make that big shape just predominant, and then split it into three. 1, 2, 3, and there's my third shape. Like so. Mix some more paint here. And at the tip, there's some of those white spots. And you can divide your orange spots there. Now I notice on this wing the color started to fade. I will plan to go back and make it darker. So there are some white spots here, so I'll be adding a few of those there. Like so. Now turning my attention to the lower wing. Need to mix some more paint. So again, on this shape, on the lower wing, there's one big shape, and then divide the shape into other smaller shapes here, like so. And come around to the end of the wing. And again, you want to have some white spots. So you can even draw a line between the end of the wing and the orange, like so, and then start filling in and where it makes sense. Now it's time to dry again. Okay. Now I take your liner. There's some spots on my painting that the lines aren't so sharp. Now that the paint is dry, I will go back in with my liner and darken them. Like so. Okay, now one more spot. We will work on the body. Still using the liner brush and the intense blue and burnt umber. We'll start with the tail, and the tail is between on the lower wings about halfway up, and that's when I'm going to start the tail of the butterfly. And then work your way up, and when it comes up to where the wings, the body thickens. So I will thicken that part, and then it comes up a little past the upper wings, and then it has a round cut of head there. So I'll make the round little head like so. Now I don't know if that's going to dry dark enough, so I we'll speed the process up and dry it with my hair dryer. Okay, that's dry enough. Take your liner now, and it is light enough that I can add another layer that will be darker. So I'm mixing some more paint, and we'll add some little lines for some depth of the body of the butterfly, and making a spot where the eyes are. Like so. And so the very last part that you want to do is the antennas. And they have two, and they shoot out. They don't shoot out totally straight. They curve out a little bit. So let's do that. Again, loading your brush with the burnt umber and the intense blue. And I put them on one side. Go straight out, and then on the other side where the eye is, and then like that. And there's usually a little round shape on the very tip of it, like so. Okay, so now this composition is in a type of relief form, and that's maybe how you want to do your painting. But there is also the option of painting the background, which I will show you, and you can continue on the video. To create a background for this, we'll start with using our pick up your mop brush, take some sap green, and add some cadmium yellow, and start spreading it on the paper. Now I could have started by wetting the paper first, but I chose not to, because I want to be careful about not getting too close to the butterfly. If you get the part of the butterfly too wet there, the paint will start to run. So I think you have better control by not wetting the paper first. Spread that paint all around. Load your paint, your brush as needed. Mix some more paint. Okay. Now I covered the whole area of the background. Now switch to round with pointed tip brush. And just take some of your sap green, taking just the straight sap green, and making some leaves. And randomly putting leaves and blades of vegetation here.
Might want to slow down a little.
Okay. Now take your dryer and dry that layer. flower, pick up your liner brush, and it will be a little, I believe it's called a thistle, and put one right here, and take your liner and load it with crimson, and then intense blue, and that will make it a purplish color. So I'm going to put my little flower right here. Well, that's a little strong, but you can water that down by dabbing it, but first dry your brush a little there and just spread the paint that you already have. Like so. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, but now go back and make a stem at the bottom of the little blossom there darker by adding some sap with some burnt umber. Again, you can take your paper towel and give it a little test. Just add some at the base here, like so. And I'm bringing that down into this line here. And now I'm going to stop. I like my little flower and my little butterfly. I really enjoyed doing this lesson with you, and I hope you did too. To learn about new lessons and more videos coming up, please subscribe, tap the bell, and hit like. Take care, be safe, and see you soon.